So this is how you will take your rooms, I mean your bubbles, and turn them into rooms. So you need to know what's going to go in each room, and you're going to have to lay that out and then make sure you have circulation space around the furniture you've placed, and that round that up. And we'll talk about what that means in a minute. Um, and then round that up to a room size. Um, so as you can see, graphic standards, this is one of the reasons that this is a required text in every class. Graphic standards will help you immensely figure out what size things are. How big is a bed? How big is a couch? In your kitchen, how do what's the furthest distance that you want someone to walk between the refrigerator, the sink, and the cooktop? And there's a triangle that helps you determine maximum length so that you don't wear out the person cooking the meals. And so you have some examples here on screen that show you different layouts for different rooms. They also show you doors, right? So when you open a door, there are ADA requirements that are used in a home with somebody with a wheelchair. And as we will talk about, um, you know, universal design is becoming more and more common, more and more standard, because more and more people are living longer, and some of those people become disabled. And you want to think about accessibility for your clients who likely will be building their dream homes and may stay in them for the rest of their lives, or they may be older, so it's these are things to consider. And so graphic standards will help you lay out all of these things. In the beginning, it can be very overwhelming. It's a lot to learn, and it's a lot to remember, and it's a lot to juggle with all the other things you're juggling. And so my recommendation is this: if you are in doubt while working on this, or you're like, where do I put this door? Use the space, use the residence that you are currently living in as a guide. Um, this isn't an exact science in a lot of cases. It's more of an approximation. Um, and so it's at this point, I'm not going to expect you all to work all these details out perfectly. I just want you to start thinking about them. I want you to start working with them. I want you to start to become familiar with them and get an overview on this. So let's say, for example, let's talk about a bedroom, right? Say we're going to use a primary bedroom, which is what we're now calling the master bedroom. For those of you who don't know, master came from the plantations. It was the slave owner. I didn't know that, but that is what it meant. I used to just thought, because you call you used to be a call the father, the master of the house, and all that's still, I could have other connotations, especially in a house that doesn't have a master. Um, the new term we're using is primary for what we used to call the master bedroom. So for the primary bedroom, say we're going to come down here to the bottom middle row, the middle column, bottom row, and you can say that a queen size is 60 inches wide by 80 inches long. I can now put that, right? I can now draw that rectangle on a piece of paper, or for me, AutoCAD. I would draw a rectangle in AutoCAD. Um, or any other software program that you like working with. You can lay that out, and then you can add nightstand. There's some recommendations for nightstand. There are also distances between the bed and the wall, distances between the beds, right? It gives you all that information. And so it really will help you begin to use those dimensions to get a rough layout. So once you get this laid out, you're probably going to have some weird dimensions. Say the room is 10 feet 2 inches. It's kind of a weird dimension. And we try as much as possible to work in increments of 2, 4 feet, 8 feet, to help minimize waste in finished materials, especially like drywall. Also, to make it easier to frame, it's easier to work with full dimensions. Now, you may not want to go from 10 feet 4 inches to 12 feet, but do you really need that 4 inches? And that's just something to consider. At this stage, if you make it 10 feet 4 inches, that's fine. But it's just something to know, and it's something to think about. I'm not going to grade you guys on your dimensions at this point, but I do want to see that you are considering the sizes of your rooms. So now I've got this bubble that says primary bedroom, and I now know what's going to go in it. And you guys have latitude to determine this. Later on, you're going to inventory your clients a little bit to find out, do you have a king size bed, queen size bed, do you have furniture that you're bringing, right? If so, you want to measure the furniture, you want to know the sizes of the furniture. They could provide that, or they could pay you to provide that. Just depends on what kind of services they want. And anytime you go out and as built anything, and as built means you go out and measure things that are existing, you should charge for your time by the hour. And you can estimate how many hours it'll take you to do that with enough experience and know what to charge. But you can just, ask questions and just find out, right? Because there's a difference in how big a room with a sitting area would be. There's a difference in size of room that is queen versus king. And then you got to start thinking about the doors. You got to leave space for your doors. Is there going to be, how many doors are there going to be in this room? And so once you get that general layout size, that becomes your room. And then you're then going to start working with those rooms and your bubble diagram to produce your floor plans.